Okay, welcome back. Let's talk blades because that's what we're into. Today I have one for you from Coldsteel. Now this is an older model. It's called the Voyager Vaquero or Vaquero, however way you want to say it. If you want to say it that way, this is one of those knives of the Coldsteel lineup that's a little bit more cheaper. But this one, for some weird reason, is harder to find. I cannot find this one, and I don't know if I'm not looking hard enough or what, but this particular blade, I can only find the XL version, and this is just the original size. So this one has the 4-inch blade. The extra large version, I think, has a 5 or 4.5 to 5-inch blade. A pretty big boy. You can tell it's kind of got a menacing look to it. It's got that bead blasted finish on the blade, which I kind of like, and you can tell it's got some scratches. This is lent to me by a good friend of mine, the same person who lent me the Bird Caracara 2. I do not have this knife in my collection, and he knows how huge my collection is, and he's actually proud of that. He's proud that he owns a knife that I don't. So there's Coldsteel, Taiwan. This is AUS 8 steel. And you see the Voyager on there. You just don't see the Vaquero name on there. That's fine. I love this handle. This is like a specific kind of handle material. They call it Grivex or Gridex. And it's got this kind of star patterning on the handle. Adds grip. To me, it's a little weird, but it does grip. So, it feels great. Feels great in the hand, and of course it sports the ever so famous triad lock. Now, if you're not familiar with the triad lock, I suggest that you guys go and watch other YouTube videos referring to the triad lock. It's one of the market's strongest locks. It takes a lot to break this particular lock. Yeah, but check that out if you guys are really interested more about the Coldsteel triad lock. But Coldsteel makes beefy, chunky, bead on them, and it makes them last kind of knives. Of course, nothing is indestructible. Everything has its limits. But this particular knife has that kind of Coldsteel kind of look to it anyway. It is a bit wide in the hand. You can tell how wide that is right there. Bring out the calipers so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to close this knife so I don't stab myself, because I almost just did that just now. That probably would have made a really good video, but sorry guys, probably not this one. Okay, 16.0 millimeters wide. It's not that bad in the pocket. I've carried this knife for a day just to see. It's actually pretty good, and the pocket clip, Coldsteel pocket clips, are extremely strong. It's one thing I love about Coldsteel is that they don't mess around when it comes to the strength of their knives, including their pocket clips. I don't have to worry about that getting hung up on anything because it's not just a thin piece of metal. It's really, really hard to do that. Alright. Let's see how much this thing weighs. You're probably thinking, well, Coldsteel. And if anybody knows Coldsteel, their knives aren't exactly pocket-friendly when it comes to weight. But, I mean, it all depends on the kind of knife anyways. Okay, 4.73 ounces. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Under 5-ounce knife, so it's relatively light for what it is. And I want to show you guys how long this thing is. Alright, okay, alright, so almost 9.5, probably like 9.25 inches. And that does leave, yes, a 4-inch blade. You can see that right there. Yep, 4 inches. And liners, please forgive me. I swear, I promise, one of these times, I'm going to remember to do this. I'm going to clean out the liners so you guys can see it without looking at all the gross pocket lint in there. But there are steel liners in there. It's just dirty. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you got steel liners on that Gridex or Grivex handle. If you're able to find it, the price tag on this one is a little bit kind of weird and off. It's been a very long time since I've owned a Voyager. I have one or two Voyagers myself, but they're much older than this model here. And you guys will see them at some point in time. This model in particular was a little bit easier for my buddy to find, and it was much cheaper. So the actual one that I have on Amazon right now that I can find that's under this model is the extra large, and that one goes for way more. I want to say it can jump up anywhere between 80 to 100 real quick. Let's do some cutting. How about that? Alright, so got some more paper for you guys here. Probably the same paper from the last video. Who cares? This is my first time, so I really don't care. Alright, so here we go. Trying to angle it just right. Now this knife has been used. As you can tell, it's been scratched up, so forgive me if it doesn't cut very well. Yeah, kind of... The tip is maybe just... It could use a little bit of sharpening. Up. 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 This is not a new knife, by the way. Yeah, it has an edge. I swear to all Buddha, it has an edge. Yeah, see, that's not that great, but that's because this knife needs to be sharpened, so no problem. That's just paper. But can it cut rope? Hold on. I got rope. I got rope. Ah, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to try and test this out here. Huh. Try it again. Die. Okay, maybe not. Alright, 3 times. 3rd time is a charm. Wow. My buddy needs to not beat down on this thing so bad, because... Yeah, that wasn't really a clean cut. You know what? A few passes on the Spyderco angle sharpener, excuse me. This thing will be hair-shavingly sharp, I'm sure. Out of the box, a lot of people know this, out of the box, Coldsteel knives are the world's strongest, sharpest knives. It even says it on their box as advertisement, and yes, it is a very true statement, at least to me in my experience. But I think it all depends on the blade steel too. This is AUS 8 after all, so it's a lot softer. If you bear down on this blade a lot, it's going to lose its edge. But that all depends on the user, if that's your thing. Like I said, it's going to be hard to find. If you can find this knife, go ahead and pick it up if you're interested. For some weird reason, when I look at this thing, it just looks so menacing with the way that it is. I mean, it looks cool. A lot of people like that blade shape. And when I see it, it looks... Oh, man, it just looks... You look like a bad guy on a movie just with this thing, you know? Like you're going to do some sort of blood ritual sacrifice or something. It just looks a little too menacing to me. Of course, I'm going to be contradicting myself because I do have a lot of other knives that look way more interesting than this blade shape right here, but for some weird reason, this particular knife, the reason why I don't own this is because I don't really particularly like that shape. It's intimidating, sure. I don't know. It's up to you guys whether or not it's going to be judged on you whether or not you want to take a look at that. Anyways, that is the Coldsteel Voyager. I will see you guys in the next one. Laters.